AJ, what was your takeaway or two from that video?
The big takeaway was actually the fall forward portion too.
Yeah.
I never thought of things like that, of having a backup, seem as something a little weak rather than just having one set goal and being able to fall forward onto that and keep going after you do fall towards your goal. So seeing it in that manner just, opened up a new thought process.
Yeah. As anybody else, I didn't realize I had so much in common with Mr. Denzel Washington. I don't have his checkbook, but I have some things in common with him. I have never believed in a backup plan. And I had parents that very much believed, when I told them I was going to, switch a major, AJ, from engineering. My older brother was an engineer. He was already in grad school working on a master's degree. He had great scholarship offers and even job offers coming out of school. So when I told him I was not an engineer and I thought I was a communications person, I was going to write the great American novel at that time. So I had parents that said, you're going to starve to death. If you change your major, you need a backup plan. And I've always felt if I'm putting time into it, it's kind of like getting married with a prenup. And I hope I'm not stepping on any toes of the married people. I've never believed in a prenup with a marriage because that's giving you an escape hatch. That's planning for the failure of that marriage. And I think of the same thing about a backup plan to a professional goal. You shouldn't put time and energy into a backup plan. You should push forward toward that goal. That's just me. Other thoughts about the video, Andre? What were your thoughts on that second video?
My parts about the video that kind of stuck out to me that I liked was when he described to the audience how many times he failed. I'm a numbers person. So when he described how many times he failed, when he described how many times Reggie Jackson struck out, when he described how many times Thomas Edison made the mistake until he actually got it right. Because a lot of times, as young people and even some adults are like even me sometimes, we look at these iconic figures and we think, oh, they're born with these God-given talents. And we think if we cannot just come out, out of the womb and be just as talented as them, because we're thinking that they were born like that, it's important for him to come out and say, hey, no, I wasn't born like that. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of failure. And it lets people know that no matter where you are at right now in life, you still can't even catch up to me how many times I failed. You too can be successful.
Yeah. So true. So true. Patrick, your thoughts?
All right. So thank you. I want to address your question, Michael, about why us as men of color are so afraid of failure.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time when people look at us, they have a prophecy already, as Mr. Washington would say, except their prophecy is not you're going to travel the world and speak in front of millions of people. Their prophecy is you're going to fail. And when we do fail, we as our own worst personal critic think to ourselves, oh my God, I just fulfill other people's prophecy of me. I am a failure. And that is such a hard truth to swallow, even though it's not a truth at all. We often think that is the truth. Now, I want to be the kind of man that Mr. Washington is. I don't want to speak loud. I want to speak with conviction so that when I speak, I command the attention. That's the kind of man that he's want us to be or aspires to be. As far as what I like the most about the video is his comments about having a dream. It's okay, but you have to have a plan to make that dream a reality. And I want to mention something that I've learned in the past, but I totally forgot about it. Your plan has to be smart. What does smart mean? Smart mean specific goal. It's measurable goal. It's achievable goal. It's relevant and it's time bound. All of these 5 components will make your goal realistic and achievable and measurable, and you can track your progress. People will say, I want to be a billionaire by the time I'm 40. How are you going to get there? How are you going to become a billionaire? Are you going to go to school? Are you going to open a business? Where you're going to get money from the business? All these steps, these little stepping stones that lead to your success has to come from smart goal. I just want to mention that. And again, it's a fantastic video. I have the same passion that I do from last week Will Smith video. And if for the audience at home, you didn't check out that podcast or that video on how to be a man, you need to check it out.
Yeah, last week was the one you're referencing was the youth peer support group video. Yeah, definitely check that out. That's another partnership with the Hawk Institute. But Patrick, I'm not in the habit of correcting Patrick Ma. Y'all about to see him, berate me again. I'm not correcting you, Patrick, but you said something that I really got to address. You were talking about failing, and you said, what do we tell ourselves we're a failure? I really want to make a distinction and encourage you guys, especially the younger people here, always make a distinction between failing and being a failure. Don't take that label on just because you fail at something. We all fail at something. There are people that want to label us failures because you failed at something. I failed at metallurgical engineering was what it was at the time. When I tell friends of mine that now, they go, Michael, the way you write, the way you talk, what made you think that was? I said, I have no idea. You could look at my grades in high school. I always did better in the arts than in the sciences. I could write a paper the night before and get an A, but I had to work really hard for those math and science grades. So the signs were always there. So I failed at many things that I tried to do, but I never took that on as a part. You could never label me a failure. So for the young people in the room, that would be my bit of advice for you tonight. Feel free to fail. I mean, I love trying new things, and I fail every day. And I kind of get a kick out of it now. If I try, AJ, I'll tell you, I'm going to jump out of that plane. I am going to jump out of that plane. Now, hopefully I'll live to tell you about it. If you fail,
you will fail that one, Michael.
If I fail that one too severely, I might not be here to host this next video, but I'm going to jump out of the plane. I fail all the time, and I'm not afraid to try something and fail, but you will never label me a failure. Ever. You could never label me a failure. I don't take that on. I don't accept it. Other thoughts? We've got just a few more minutes. Isaiah, did everybody get a chance to talk about the video? I think so. Everybody talked about Denzel. Yes. Did I miss anybody? What in general? Let's turn to. Often I will turn to younger people to help. I've never been a person when I was a young person, I thought I knew everything. And now that I'm an older person, I think young people know everything. So I'm glad I've kept that mentality. I draw on young folks to kind of get me through. But as we talk about perseverance, the longer you've been here, you tend to have persevered a little bit more. So I want to turn to those of us with a little salt and pepper. That's you and me, Andre. We're the elder statesmen of this. So look at Patrick, got a little gray up in there. He used that. Patrick using that dark and lovely to cover that stuff up. I'm not. Andre, talk about what advice would you give to the younger guys here today? When we're talking about perseverance, we don't need Denzel Washington or Inky Johnson to preach to us about it. What would you have to say, Andre, about perseverance to these young guys as we get ready to wrap up?
What I'd like to say in the end is, no matter what, you're not a failure. If you fall forward. There's so much time. Not to take back. If you're a youngster, have so much time to fail and learn. To me, failure has always been a learning lesson. It's never been a failure. It's been something that I wasn't good at doing. I had to reevaluate what it was. I had to relearn how to do whatever it was. And I want to say at least 98% of the times, I end up getting it right.
Wow. That's encouraging, even for me, Andre. Appreciate it. Patrick wants to chime in. He's got that two little salt and pepper hairs in the back of his head. So Patrick wants to share his advice. Patrick, what you got?
I have more than two, by the way. But anyhow, thanks for the compliment. For the guys at home, for all of our youth in the forum and all of our youth who are watching this video, again, perseverance fatigue is a thing. Know yourself. I can tell you how many times people have told me that I cannot do A, B, and C because I'm gay, because I'm immigrant, because I'm poor, and my parent wasn't a physician, and I will never be a clinician myself. I can't. There's a whole host of story I can tell, but throughout my journey as a person who has to constantly persevere to get to where I am today, and I'll give you a little bit of background. I was homeless at 17, yeah. And now I am a physician assistant. It took 11 years of school to get there. But I think in my journal of perseverance, I think the most important thing is know when to break, know when to take a break, know when to ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is not giving up on perseverance or not to persevere. Asking for help is being smart and know to work smarter and not harder. There are people out there who will help you to continue your journey, to continue to be persevere and to become successful. So I can't emphasize enough knowing when to pause and to stop and reevaluate where you are. People, when talk about perseverance, keep thinking you just keep going and going and going and going. Everybody get tired. Battery runs out. Electricity just suddenly stop. You gotta know when to stop, to recharge, to tap into your resources, to ask for help, just so you can continue your journey and to get to the goal that you want. I like dreams, I do, but a goal is much smarter. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. That's how you will get to your goal and become whoever you want to become.
Aren't y'all glad we let Patrick wrap this up? He is one of the smartest guys I know. He's also, Patrick, I gotta add to that. You just said something. You said when you were 17, you were homeless. And I've had the benefit of reading Patrick's personal story. I think, Patrick, actually early on, I think I interviewed you about that on the Brother Be Well platform. It was one of the most amazing. We got off the video and I just had to wipe tears out of my eyes. It's such a crazy story. Patrick was homeless at 17 and now he's a home owner. Okay. Patrick took care of business. So you can really, even when you're I'm blessed that I never faced that. I never, the closest I came to homeless was I had to couch surf for a little bit, between relationships and I left home at 17. So there was a short period of time. But again, I knew I would land on my feet. I was never homeless, not a single night of my life. So for someone that was homeless and then now they're a homeowner and degrees and a physician's assistant and a clinician, it's just a motivational story. Cannot thank y'all enough for checking in. I know everybody's at the end of their day. I appreciate you being patient as we took a look at the videos. We got Mustafa from the Hog Institute. AJ Hurd has been with us. Thank you, AJ. Isaiah Matthews is a mentor with Hog. Andre Warren is the COO at Hog. And Patrick Ma, my friend first and foremost, but he's also Brother Be Well clinical advisor, and he's a physician's assistant. Thanks to all of y'all for being a part of this discussion today. And want to thank you for checking this video out. If you like it, go to the website, brotherbewell.com. There's a host of videos that are joint partnerships with the Hawk Institute, but also a number of independent productions by Brother Be Well, audio podcasts, video podcasts, compelling print pieces, all kinds of resources for you to help you on your own mental health journey. The website's right there, brotherbewell.com/resources. So check all of that out. My name, again, Michael P. Coleman. I'm content director for Brother Be Well, encouraging you to do two things until we talk to you next time. Take great care of yourself. And everything we're doing here at Brother Be Well is designed to help you take great care of yourself. Once you get that down or you get a little rhythm going there, reach out, grab somebody, help take care of them too. Until next time, bye-bye.